Shalom, shalom. Hey, man, I done left my damn tripod today. So it's gonna be a more like a audible camp. you know, gonna be able to see me too much on this. You know? Man, I could have sworn I had that damn thing. Before I get started, give all praise and glory to Yahweh. And we're gonna get into it, man, because hey, we got this wicked ass Christmas holiday coming up. This pagan holiday. And all you want to be so-called Christians, man, y'all asses are right in the middle of it. We're at the forefront. That goes to show you don't even read your Bible. Go to church, jumping up and down, stomping and barking for nothing, foaming at the mouth. But hey, nothing stopped your show, man. Tripod or no tripod, you know, camp must go on. We're gonna get into Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spaketh unto you, O house of Israel. So listen to this word that's being spoken unto you, O house of Israel, man. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Listen to this word, because it's strictly for you. Contrary to what you've been believing that it's everybody, it's a we are the world type of movement, type of religion, but it ain't. This is just for Israel, man. Israel only. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Everybody on this chart, right here. So you can get a look and see. From Judah all the way down to Issachar, man. It's gonna be a little awkward today, but but it's gonna work. It's definitely gonna work. Verse 2, thus says Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. So yeah, learn not the way of the heathen, man. And Christmas is the way of the heathen. And niggas got some shit called Kwanzaa. You just out here all willy-nilly, man, worshiping any and everything. But the heathen, their custom is Christmas. The Israelites, we don't have no such custom as Christmas, man. Now we got Hanukkah, but you ain't got no big fat white boy sliding down your chimney passing out gifts, right? Or breaking in your house doing a B&E, talking about he dropping gifts off, eating your damn milk and cookies, man. So we don't have that in our customs, man. We have high holy days, but there's no mention of Christmas in the scriptures for you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, contrary to what you believe. This is a pagan holiday ordained by the Roman Catholic Church, man. Saturnalia coming right on up tomorrow, man. And you got all kind of sun worship, sun gods being worshipped, man, throughout the ages. Eve gonna be a. Let's go on. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Yeah, the heathens are dismayed at the signs of heaven. You know, astrology, planet alignment. But we're not dismayed at that, man. So let's get into it. The NLT on verse 2. So this is what Yahweh says: Do not act like the other nations who try to read their future in the stars. Do do not be afraid of their predictions. They should have put "don't be afraid," but anyway, even though other nations are terrified by them. So yeah, we don't do that. That's not a custom of ours. Matter of fact, there's scriptures telling us not to even deal with astrology and procrastinators. That's a hard word to say today. You know, you know, witchcraft, uh, fortune, fortune tellers, mediums, things of that sort, psychics. We commanded to stay clear from that, man. Don't even deal with that. Matter of fact, the scripture say you're supposed to put a witch to death. You know, all right, you're supposed to put a witch to death, man. But today, these women they boast about being witches. You know, it says, verse 3: For the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. So the custom of the people are vain, useless, man, futile, foolish. And they cut it. Hey, let's talk. Let's talk about the Christmas tree all day. It says, "For one cut up a tree out of the forest, which represents supposed to be the Garden of Eden." So they get these evergreen trees and cut them out of the forest, bring them to their homes, man. You know, some some historians say it's Nimrod's penis. You know, but it's all pagan worship, man. So you can't get around that. It say, "For one cut up a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe." So yeah, they go and get these evergreen trees, aka Christmas trees, and cut them down. Modern day axe. They use today as a chainsaw, man. And some people may keep it old school and use the axe, but we definitely talking about the Christmas tree right here. This is an ancient practice, man. I believe an ancient Babylonian custom at that. So they deck it with silver and with gold, your ornaments. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it not move. Yeah, they fasten it with nails with a hammer, man. The tree stand, so it don't move. You got your tree in your house is all lit up. You got your ornaments all over it. Your red. I forget the name of those damn things. It's been so long since I had a Christmas tree, man. I forget the name of that shit, man. But you got the little balls that supposed to represent apples. The red ones supposed to represent apples, man. So this is a custom of the heathen. And the little the tinsel, that people put on the trees. Even goes back saying that, that represents sperm, man. So it's one big pagan custom, man. A gumbo of paganism. I know you niggas know what a gumbo is. It says they deck it with silver and with gold, your ornaments or whatever you put on that damn tree. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. So it's not gonna move, man. And you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, believe me, some of y'all houses gonna burn down, man. The Lord gonna have a way where your shit burn down to the ground. Put this tree in your motherfucking houses, man. Being wicked as hell. And I passed by one of my neighbor's house, man. He got 4 Christmas trees, man. He got 2 in the front yard and 2 in the house. So this man is out of his damn mind. You know? He could be a Jake. I don't know. But I know one thing, he got 4 of them damn Christmas trees in this shit. You know? Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. So yeah, here it is. Jeremiah is talking about how this palm tree, it doesn't speak, or this Christmas tree, it don't speak or nothing. You know, and it has to be carried away. You have to water the tree. You have to decorate it. You know, shit, you got to cut it down, man. Or today, you got to go down there and pick one out. So you have to do everything for this tree that you worship and go so nuts about, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. But this tree can't do nothing for you, man. Get your ass in a world of trouble. Like the mofos used to say, a world of hurt. You know? Verse 6. Oh, well, let's go on with that. So like we still on verse 5. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So yeah, these trees can't do anything for you, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. But yet you cleave on to them, every year. You just gotta have a Christmas tree. When your ass get in trouble, you know, call on that fucking Christmas tree, man. When you get sick on your damn deathbed, or the Most High strike you with an illness, call on the Christmas tree. Don't call on your Howard Bashim Awashah to bail you out, man. Because you're supposed to know better. You Israelites supposed to know better. But no, you want to get up and take on the customs of Babylon, man. You know? It is so bad, Jake, was dressed up as Santa, man. I can't believe it. My eyes can't believe it. He did the shit last year, through a text message. I laughed it off with a group text on the job plantation. But then he brought it back. And, we had the little job Christmas party. And I'm looking, and this man is like possessed with this damn Christmas suit on, man. Damn Santa suit. I'm like, you damn so-called Negroes, man. Out of y'all goddamn minds, man. Out of y'all fucking minds. You do anything to not serve the Most High power, man. But it's okay. Because you had one of the Lord's representatives there, one of his ambassadors. you know, and believe me, I'm going back snitching, you know? I'm like, hey, Lord, you seen this damn nigga, man, in a damn Santa suit. Which the most already saw it. But, most I had me there to see it, witness it firsthand, man. So Like they say, your ass been caught red-handed, man. You've been caught red-handed being a damn heathen, a damn pagan, man. And and you already know what that's punishable by. Punishable by. You ready for death, man. You are officially ready for death, man. Verse 6, for as so much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. So yeah, it's no no God or any power unlike the Most High, man. You know, Krishna don't stand a chance. Buddha ain't even worth mentioning. What's his name? Fucking Muhammad, that dirtbag. He can't compare it, man. Or they say Allah, but Allah only means power, man. But so we're gonna use Muhammad, that dirtbag, man. He can't compare to the Most High, man. No. What's his name? JC, Jesus Christ. He can't compare, man. He says, let's read that over. Jeremiah 10:6, for so much as there is none unlike thee, O Yahweh, thou, thou art great, and thy name is great and mighty. Yeah, because they righteous run into it, man. There's power in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. The Most High, Yahweh, is a strong tower. Let me see if I can pull that up. I keep wanting to go to that precept. Yep, I knew it. It's Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So that name is a strong tower, man. And let's get that in the NLT. It says the name of the Most High is a strong fortress. The godly run to him and are safe. Yeah, because we know there's power in that name. Only the godly are going to actually praise that name and actually call on it in the time of trouble, man. And hey, not only the bad times, but the good times too. You know, we're gonna call with the good and the bad times. And the water Yahweh Shimei Shapo, waking us up out of this slumber, or waking us out of this slumber, man. We was in a stupor, man. And now we are wide awake. You used to think you was awake. When you're listening to Alex Jones and David Icke, people like that. But you don't get fully awake until you come into this truth, man. Yeah? So, I tell this story, told it before, how this one Jake on the job came up to me, was like, are you awake? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, he was a Benjamite too, I believe. You know, he's like, "Oh, you fully awake?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." You know, I'm listening to Alex Jones. You know, I know about the Illuminati and this, that, and the third. You know, I caught an offense to it. You know, but then fast forward to about 8 years ago. You know, it had to be the Most High to put the spirit on him, man, to bring me out of that, to take me to the next level. Because you know that really stuck to me, man, and I felt some type of way about that. you know, I felt a real, I felt real pissed off about that. You know, like he trying to insult my intelligence, man. You know, she looking for needles. I don't know. You know, so the Lord, took me to the next level, man. Matter of fact, above the level, man. You know, he took me way, put me light years ahead of people, man. You know, like I said, it ain't by me, by the wisdom and knowledge he gave me, man. You know, I thought I knew it all at once. You know, but like they say, man, keep keep living, you're gonna learn something. Well, for some people, let me take that back. Some people learn things, as they get older. So let's go back to that Jeremiah. Verse 7. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? That's a good question. Who would not fear the Most High? You can't be in your right mind. It says, for to thee doth it appear. Hold on. For to thee doth it appertain, for as so much as among all the wise men of the nations and in all their kingdoms, there is none unlike unto thee. So look at that in the NLT. It says, who would not fear you, O King of nations? That title belongs to you alone among all the wise people of the earth and in all the kingdoms of the world. There is no one like you. And that's what the hell I've been saying for the past 8 years. And the apostles for the past 40 years. You know, we tell you, man, there's only one true power on the planet, you know, and throughout the universe, the galaxy, whatever you want to call it, man. There's only one true power, man, and that's the power of Israel, man. So-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, First Samuel 2:6 tells you how he kills and he make alive, man. You know how he can raise your ass from the grave or put your ass to death, man. Whatever the case may be. You know, he does the killing. You know, you be like, oh, somebody, they love to come up here talking shit too. Come on, I'm gonna kill you. Well, I got news for you. You don't have that type of power, man. You got to get permission from the Most High, man, to kill me. You know, so that's why we come out here in great boldness, man, because we know how this works. You know, well, we don't fear nobody coming out here, man. You know, I know who in control. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I can come out here solo dolo, like they say. And don't think twice about it. Verse 8, but they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. Again, we're going to get the NLT. It says, people who worship idols are stupid and foolish. The things they worship are made of wood. Exactly. You know, you see people out there, especially that damn Buddha statue. I even climbed that big ass statue, man, in Hong Kong one time, man. It's still right there in the same spot. You know? You know, Buddha never got up and scratched his ass, you know? He didn't get down out of that, out of that position and do anything, man. It's still sitting there collecting dust. You know? It's still sitting there collecting dust. But there's only one true power, man. And that's Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. You know, so all your gods are useless, man. There's no other power. You know? There's no other fucking power out here, man. I don't give a fuck what you into. Get your fucking weird ass away from me, man. You know, like I was saying, Jake wanna come out here playing games. I like to play games too, man. You know? I like to play too. So I can't wait till the Lord, man, the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah kill you motherfuckers, man. I can't wait till he just unleashed just pure hell, man. Which we're fastly approaching that day. We're fastly approaching that day. 2026, it only gonna get worse from here, man. The troops are already being sent. Like they said, they already been deployed to New Orleans for New Year's Eve and for Mardi Gras, quote unquote. So the troops are getting into place, man. And you people out here worrying about motherfucking gifts and shit, man. You just don't know Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is getting ready to roll on you, man. He's getting ready to roll on you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And he gonna fucking shoot that stupid ass smile off your face, man. You know? And then when you got a whole platoon of troops on your block, what you gonna do? You gonna turn to that Christmas tree and ask for help? You're like, oh, Christmas tree, bail me out of this one. No, you're gonna start to call on the Lord. It's funny how ain't nobody religious until some shit happens to them, man. Then they want to call on something when they leak it. You done got sprayed. Now you wanna believe in something then. And that's when especially a so-called Negro, man. That's when he want to get real religious when his ass about to go to prison or his ass got shot. He remember the Lord then. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, but they Lord, ain't gonna be to call on the Lord on that day. It's gonna be too late. You know, just like you've been sticking your fingers in your ears now, the Lord gonna have his ears, his fingers in his ears. He ain't nothing you gotta do. Once he released these troops on the streets, man, they coming for the big roundup, man. You know, they starting with the so-called Latinos first, roughing them up. But the Lord's gonna turn up on you so-called Negroes, man. But the Most High is, you know, he's a jealous power, man. He's a jealous power. And y'all been laying down with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, for so long, till eventually, you know what? You say, you know, fuck them, man, and put them to death. And that's what he getting ready to do, man. You know, the Most High, he considers Israel as his woman, man. You like his woman, and you out here committing adultery on the Most High. You know, you laying down with any and everything, man. So, you know, the rage of a man when his wife cheating on him, hey, it's lights out, man. You can't control a man's rage once he find out his wife been cheating on him or his woman been cheating on him, man. You know, he been treating his woman so nice, doing her right, and then some fucking dirtbag is all up in your woman, man. That drives a man crazy. And so the Lord is the same way, man. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans been laying down with any and everything, worshiping anything, eating everything. So the Lord, like, you know what? I can't do nothing with this woman, man. I just gotta put her down and start over, you know? And that's what he's doing, man. He's gonna put 2/3 of y'all to death. He's gonna save the 1/3, the elect. You know, he's gonna save the 1/3 of his people, man. The 2/3 of the nation Israel gotta go, man. Y'all just not gonna come back. You know, it's already been factored in, man. A number of y'all is not gonna return back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So he figured, hey, he's just gonna start fresh with the 1/3, man. And we see y'all in the kingdom, man. Y'all gonna have to come through the loins of the elect, man. Yeah, we're gonna be having sex in the kingdom, man. We are going to have sex in the kingdom. And we're gonna see you in those pampers, man. Those them cloth diapers in the kingdom. You know, but as of now, you know, it's not gonna be like how we left out of Egypt. It was all big one happy family. The Egyptians cleaned on us, you know, when we was coming out of Egypt. Not this time, man. It's just gonna be Israel, Israel only, and a certain number of Israel this time. And because you niggas want to stay, you know, participating in Christmas, your New Year's Eve parties, you got that lined up next. You know, you niggas foaming at the mouth for Fat Tuesday coming up. You know, so the Lord sees it all, man. And, you know, he got you. You got what he say? He got you numbered to the slaughter. You're gonna be slaughtered, man. You know, but hey, there's still time on the clock. But you think Jake gonna put down his wicked ways and turn back to the Most High? Majority of them, no. No, so hey, it's all good with me, man. You know, that increases my chances of getting out of here. You know, so I really don't care what you. You know, this is a You know, they saying you got to be selfish in this truth, man. I'm gonna come out here and do what I need to do. But if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. I'm gonna go home like that never happened, man. You know, I'm doing this to get myself out of here. Make sure I'm protected in the day of Jacob's trouble. You know, and that's it. You know, so I gotta come out here and do my job, so to speak. You know, just like how you go on the plantation or Esau eating the so-called white man. You know, I come out here and do the work for the Lord, man. You know, same thing, but I get a bigger reward doing this though. See, so-called white man, he tax your money. You know, you gotta what they call it? What's that shit called? It's at the tip of you gotta tap out pay. You know, now you gotta take this out for your benefits. You know, but with the Most High, man, there's no caps. You know, there's no cap for these people, man. You wide open, man. You can get all you can get. You know, and the scriptures tell us, man, we're gonna have anything and everything we desire, man. In the kingdom, man. Ain't gotta ask for shit, man. We ain't gonna be begging the so-called white man for shit in the kingdom, man. We're gonna put that cracker to work, man. You know, and believe me, he ain't gonna have no fucking Christmas tree set up in his house either in the kingdom, man. He gonna get his fucking house burned down, man. You know. So let's go on. You know how that the spirit to go this way, and the spirit to go that way. So I'm gonna bring it back home, though. I'm gonna bring it back home. Verse 9, Jeremiah 10 and 9. Silver spread into plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the workman and of the hands of the founder, blue and purple, which represents, some type of wealth, is their clothing. They are all the work of cunning men. So yeah, they get these idols, they make them, beat them into whatever kind of form or shape they want. They dress them up real nice, put all kind of jewels on them, but they're useless at the end of the day. You know, you have to dress it. You got, a matter of fact, you got to plan out how you want it to look, man. You got to put all the work in and the sweat to make this idol the way you want it. But this idol can't do anything for you though. Like I said, we're gonna get a lot of this in the NLT. They bring beaten sheets of silver from Tarshish and from gold from Uphaz, and they give these materials to skillful craftsmen who make their idols. Then they dress these gods in royal blue and purple robes made by expert tailors. Yeah, so they do all this for this idol, but this idol is doing nothing for you, man. You got to spend your money to get the material. You got some people even bring their idols food, man. They have an idol up there and they set plates of food, fruit. Believe me, I see my mother-in-law. She do this shit all the time, man. She got an idol in her house. They set out the fruit, light the incense, and you look at this like, matter of fact, let's go up to back up to verse such and such, man. What was it? Verse 8. It says, Jeremiah 10 and 8, but they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. And in the NOT again, it says, people who worship idols are stupid and foolish. So yeah, she's stupid and foolish, man. Having this idol in her house, man. She didn't call on that idol to get her eyesight fixed, man. Did the idol do anything for her? No. She took her ass down there to that doctor's office and got her shit lasered. So she spends all this time and spend this money, so-called feeding this idol, but it's not doing anything for her. But you go to her house right now, and she got that idol sitting right there in the living room. And especially with so-called Latinos, man. They got all kind of idols. They have like fucking 20 or 30 different statues, man, in their living room. But yet, you're still going through the same thing. Or yet, you can't even get your idols to break the curses, man. Your idols can't do anything for you, man. But yet, you catch Jake in that living room, lighting that damn incense, man. Steadily running back and forth to the store, buying fruit. So the Most High is talking about, how useless these idols are, man. They have no life to them. You can't give them life. They don't have life. But yet, they cling on to it, man. We have a true living power that's actually able to do something for you. And you just look the other way, man. You rather kneel down to an idol instead of calling on the names of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It says, but in that verse 9, it says, they are all the work of cunning men. Yeah, because these men, they know these idols. They know they're useless. They don't have any life in them. But hey, you keep paying them, they're gonna keep making them, man. And you get these so-called religious leaders. They're like, this idol, it'll bring you all kind of power, wealth, healing, you know. But you need to give such and such amount though. You need to leave $100 here, 200 there, and you leave the money there. And when you leave, they take the money and put it in their pocket, man. They'll take that cash and stick it in their pockets. But they got you down there worshiping and bound down to it, man. While they laughing to the bank.
Y'all should have told me. I ain't got no that trip. Like, I can't just go Zoom. I can't go Zoom way over there.
So let's go on. It says, but Yahweh is the true power. He is the living power and an everlasting king. And his wrath, the earth shall tremble, and the nation shall not be able to abide his indignation, man. Yeah, because how you gonna make the earth tremble? With those thermonuclear ICBM missiles, man. That's getting ready to hit this place known as America, Babylon, man. Because World War III is still on schedule. You know, we don't care about what Putin's saying and Zelensky talking about, oh, we working on a peace plan, a peace deal. You know, it don't matter, man. World War III is gonna happen. It don't matter who's in office, who's not in office. You know, I don't care what kind of peace plans or peace deals been brokered. It's not gonna stop World War III. You know, contrary to what Trump's saying that he stopped World War III, you don't have that type of power. It's been prophesied from the beginning that World War III is gonna take place. You know, so who's right? The Most High or Trump? Hmm? I'm gonna say the Most High is right, man. Because Taco, you know, he'll flip flop in a second, man. You know, he'll talk trash about you one day and be kissing your ass the next day. You know? It says at his breath, the earth shall tremble. Yeah, because it speaks about how the earth is gonna roll to and fro like a drunkard, man. The whole earth is gonna quake when these nukes detonate, man. This whole planet is gonna quake. All buildings level. Can you imagine the tsunamis that's gonna happen, man? The landslides. Can you imagine that? You know, the earth is gonna pretty much damn near be knocked off its axis, man. That's how much force is gonna hit this place, man. And believe me, a lot of y'all not gonna make it, man. You know, so enjoy Christmas, because this could damn well be your last Christmas. This could damn well be your last Christmas. You know, it says, and the nation shall not be able to abide in his indignation. Yeah, you nation can't stop this nuclear war that's coming. Scripture say the king's heart is in the Most High's hand, so he controls this outcome, man. Matter of fact, he started it, and he's gonna finish it, man. He's gonna start this World War III, and he's gonna end it with the grand finale. And if you're here in America, Babylon, you're not gonna survive these nukes, man. I don't care what kind of bunker that you got, fallout shelter. Like Mark Zuckerberg has an escape route. You got a submarine. It ain't gonna work, man. You're gonna die in that damn submarine, you know? You're gonna die in that underground bunker. That's gonna be your tomb. You know, the U.S. government boasts about how they got Cheyenne Mountain and Raven Rock. That's not gonna be enough, man. The amount of warheads that's gonna hit this place, none's gonna be able to withstand it. These ain't your granddaddy nukes, man, or your great granddaddy nukes. We talking about thermonuclear missiles, man. That shit they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. That might as well be a damn bottle rocket compared to what they got now, man. We talking about hundreds of millions of degrees Fahrenheit, man. And that's just one warhead. We talking about hundreds of million degrees, man. How the hell you gonna stop that? How the hell you gonna survive that, man? I'm here to tell you, you won't. You live in America, you know, you might as well kiss your ass goodbye, man. You might as well enjoy life to the fullest. Because the only way you got a chance to survive in this is leaving the country. That's the only way. If you ain't a party elect, you know, you may have a chance of surviving living in a different country. Man, can you imagine? Like, man, just the thought of it. Verse 11, thus shall ye say unto them, the powers that have not made the heavens and the earth, even shall they perish from the earth and from under these heavens. Say this to those who worship other powers, other gods, your so-called gods who did not make the heavens and the earth will vanish from the earth, from under the heavens. So yeah, your gods that you worship is not going to stand up in that day, man. Hell, matter of fact, they don't even stand up now. Verse 12, he hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and have stretched out the heavens by his discretion. So yeah, the Most High had done this all by himself, man. You know, he's done all this by himself. You know, he's the grand architect. You know, he didn't have Buddha, Allah, Krishna, or anybody on the side of him saying, "Hey, what you think how I need to make this tree?" Or how should I make the earth? He didn't ask for any input from any other gods, man. You know, he figured it out on his own, man. He had it all planned out. You know, so there's no other power like this one. You know, he didn't have a round table of all these other gods that people worship, asking for their input. What's his name? Sekhmet and so I think it should be this color. You know, what do you think? No, go down. Verse 13, when he uttered his voice, there's a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his presence. That when he speaks in thunder, the heavens roar with rain. He causes the clouds to rise over the earth. He sends the lightning with the rain and releases the wind from the storehouses. Damn, what is that truth there? But most I was asking, can you determine where the wind started? Something to that extent. Man, he was asking. He's like, I think it's with the same precept where it's like, do you know the lake of fire? You know, if he's so damn smart, roughly paraphrase, the most I was asking, can you weigh fire? He knows how much fire weighs, a flame weighs. You know, yeah, he's like, but can you weigh a flame? He's like, can you spark a flame in the belly of the wonder? Roughly paraphrasing, can you spark a flame in the midst of the wonder? Or something like that. Just, man, I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna come to me later. I'm sure it's gonna come to me later, man. When the most I was asking all these questions, man. If you're so great, then why can't you do all these things, man? Like him, you know? Or like they say, if you're so damn smart, why can't you be as smart as him? So the most I be talking shit, man. you know, he'll talk some shit, and the thing is, he backs it up though. So where you think we get it from, man? Jake always talking shit, but unlike the most I, a lot of us can't back it up though. Let's go on. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is a falsehood, and there is no breath in them. So yeah, there's no breath or no life in these idols that you people worship. Especially this damn Christmas tree that y'all went out and bought, man. There's no life or no breath in that tree, man. Hell, you didn't cut it out of the damn forest, man. It's just sitting there waiting to die, man. But you sit up under there. I don't know if they do now, but they used to get up under the tree, sing up under the tree, near the tree. I'm sure some so-called white folks do that to this day. You know, but you put all this effort and time into these idols when they can't do anything for you, man. This tree is not gonna get up, get out the stand, and bail your ass out of trouble, man. When your ass gets sick on your deathbed, that tree is not gonna come over there and go down the Turo and heal your ass. You know? But yet, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're gonna do it again next year if we still here, man. If we still here, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans can't wait to get that damn tree. You know, matter of fact, I don't even think they take the tree down no more, man. They keep that bitch up all year now. Believe me, I know. You know, my demon, you know, she gotta have a tree, man. You know? You know, she has got to have a damn some type of tree. Whether she call it a Christmas tree, a party tree, you know, she has got to have one. But you know, but soon, you know, she gonna wish she never had a tree, man. When all hell breaking loose in the streets, she gonna forget all about that tree. When you hear your neighbor getting dragged out of the house, you know, getting he or she head beat in because people want to eat, need to eat. She gonna forget all about that tree in that day. She ain't gonna sit down and try to decorate that tree that day. You're gonna be calling on something, you know? So that's why I keep doing what I need to do, man. You know, that's why the Lord, the Most High, is dealing with men, you know? Uh select few good men, you know? Because we're gonna stay true to you how about Shimmy Awashab, man. Hello. You know, we're gonna stay true to you how about Shimmy Awashab, man. You know, we're gonna keep with him in the good days and the bad days, man. You know? You know, everybody like to talk about the Israelite, this, that, and the third, until them holidays start hitting. The holidays come up, everybody get that Christmas spirit on them, man. You know, they get all jolly. But as for me, man, it's business as usual. You know, I gotta pretend that I'm in the Christmas on the job. You know, it shit get old, man. Then I gotta go out and deal with the customers. You know, I gotta say something Christmas related. You know, it just sickening, man. Just sick. Nice. Can't push it out of the first of the month. Lucky. Dang. Verse 15, they are vanity and the works of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. So yeah, all these well, let's get in the NLT again. It says idols are worthless, they are ridiculous lies. On the day of reckoning, they shall all be destroyed. Yeah, they all gonna be destroyed on that day of reckoning. Because believe me, all those idols you see, Christ the Redeemer in South America, Buddha, in all various parts of the world, especially in the so-called Asian countries. You know, I saw some with some part of Vietnam. They got Buddha hands coming out of the dirt. You know, all that's gonna be demolished, man. All that's coming down in the day of reckoning. You know, all all idols gonna be destroyed off of the earth, man. Once the elect come out of those chariots, the 144,000 to be exact. When when they come out of those chariots to get ready to set order in the earth, whatever idol still standing is gonna be demolished. Which I doubt if anything's gonna be standing in that day, man. Like I said, the whole earth's gonna quake. I believe in Isaiah 19:1, it speaks about how the idols gonna melt, man. Let me see. Isaiah 19:1. No, it said, all right, so like the burden of Egypt, Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. So that goes to show you this is not talking about ancient Egypt, because Yahweh Shah didn't ride into Egypt on a cloud, man. It's talking about modern day Egypt. It says, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So yeah, the idols shall be moved. You know, they're gonna collapse and be reduced to rubble, man. You know, put it in layman's terms. These idols are gonna be moved, and they're never gonna rise again. You know how they say the South shall rise again. These idols, nothing's gonna rise again after this, man. But Yashar Allah, man, the kingdom of heaven. That's the only thing that's gonna rise, and everybody else going down, man. Everybody outside the so-called Negro Latino Native Americans, it's going down, man. You're going into you're going into slavery for 1,000 years. And like Klaus Schwab said, man, you're gonna own nothing and be happy. But little does he know he's gonna own nothing and be happy. You know, he's gonna get some fetters of iron, man. He's gonna get shackles on his feet. And believe me, you could take that to the bank. You know, where I'm at 108. Let's go back to the Jeremiah a little bit. We probably get a little bit more of that Jeremiah. This Jeremiah, verse 16. We're gonna end up on verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. So yeah, the Most High of Jacob, of Israel, he's the former of all things. He's the creator of all things, man. It says, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh host is his name. So yeah, creator of all things. And there's no debate about it. You know, there's no debate. And I'm not gonna go back and forth with a fool talking about there's no God, man. You know, or this is a Big Bang, you know, all this is from the Big Bang theory, man. And I'm not gonna go back and forth with a moron like that, man. You know, I got better things to do with my time. You know? Or you know? So it's not gonna happen like that. I got better things to do. So you can just look around, man. You know, if you can't put it together by just looking around with observing what's going on, and I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. You know? I don't know what to tell you. But it's gonna be good, man. With people in captivity, man. It's gonna be nice to have some slaves, man. It's gonna be real nice. And I'm gonna actually enjoy myself in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, that's go. That's when I know I made it, man. Jake get a some kind of contract, NFL, NBA contract, or record label, or make it successful in acting. You know, I'm gonna make it when I get into the kingdom, man. When I got people working for me for free, you know, that's when you know you made it. You got people bowing down and kissing your feet, man. Hey, that's a lucky I'm back. But yeah, that's when you know you made it, man. When you get to the kingdom of heaven and you got slaves working for you, you got free labor, you're living life. You got more than one wife. Now you living, man. Don't have to ask for nothing. And you got rulership, man. And you back on that godlike status. For an Israelite man, you know, you having one woman, that's going away, man. The Most High bringing it back to old school way, man. Where you got more than one wife, man. We're gonna have more than one wife. You're gonna be alive a long time, forever. And you think you're gonna be stuck with one woman? You out of your damn mind, man. That's hell being with one woman, man. That's hell for an Israelite man. So the Lord's gonna restore it back to the good old days, man, and the Bible days. And you can have as many women as you want to, man. And they ain't gonna be able to say shit about it. You know, Most I bringing them harems back. So hey, that's when you know you made it, man. But right now, you gotta tough it out, man. Do the time, man. Our bid is almost up. Our bid is almost up, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here with that, man. So yeah, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, man, your ass is gonna pay for celebrating Christmas. The Most High is gonna put you to death for cheating on it, man. And it's just that simple. And that's pretty much the lesson in a nutshell. If you don't turn back to the Most High, Yahweh Shemi Awashah, man, you're gonna send your ass to the upper room. And that's it in a nutshell. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Before I do, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Shalom.